going on, everybody? This is another episode of the Six Gaming Podcast, and we have leveled up to episode number 36. I am your host, as... What's the opposite of always?
Never?
Never.
As never. Filling in for the deployed host, and I'm Ronkley.
I'm Veg.
I'm Brox.
I'm Coles.
Wait, who are you?
This random guy that never shows up anywhere except, when he's needed.
Oh.
No, that's
Super
a lie
Coles.
because you've said that a couple times and you've never showed up. So
Well, yeah.
try again, Princess.
Well, I kind of remember an episode where I had to fill in for Shosan, and no one showed up except for Coles.
That's
Yes.
because I was at work.
We got the
But
nose
anyway.
camera. Yeah.
Anyway, we have an action-packed episode for you guys, and it's going to start off with a bang right off the top because Six Gaming now has a Facebook page.
Man, we're real now.
All right.
We're for real.
It's on
You can visit us on Facebook.
It happened.
Yes, we can visit us on Facebook at facebook.com/6gaminggg. We also have a Twitter account as well, which I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet, but we'll figure it out. It's twitter.com/6gaminggg as well. So,
So
Yeah.
I think this is a great time to point out that now I'll be able, every time I stream, I'll just post onto this new Facebook page saying I'm streaming and you guys can come watch
yeah,
all the Six
absolutely.
Gaming action.
I think that's a great idea. So we'll try to incorporate streaming in there as well. I was going to say something else about that, but I don't remember. So anyway, we got a lot of news today, so I'm going to go ahead and start with Brox. What you got?
Yeah, so what I got this week is actually kind of crosses over from different types of gaming, video gaming to the sports ball gaming. So, a couple of years ago, maybe it was a couple of years ago, maybe it was fairly recently. I'm not really sure when it happened. But this player from UCLA, he's a basketball player, was playing NCAA 09 and realized that, hey, he was in the game. They had his name, they had his likeness, they had his jersey number and everything. There he was inside this game. He wasn't getting paid for it. So like any good American, he decides to sue the NCAA for using his name and likeness without permission. NCAA comes back and says, well, hey, you were an amateur athlete. Of course you're not going to get paid for it. So this big lawsuit ensues. The end result happened, the first end result before the inevitable appeals, is now the judges come back and says that the NCAA does owe its players money for their for use of their likeness in any kind of video games or something like that, which is actually a pretty big deal. I mean, right now the college athletes are more restricted than any other employee that I can think of. I mean, they get the free scholarship, but any other kind of money coming into them, in large part, whenever if they get caught, is usually pretty major. Whereas the NCAA and the universities, I mean, they make millions of dollars off of some of this stuff, especially in some of the bigger conferences.
I remember not that long ago, a basketball player literally lost his scholarship because LeBron James gave him a pair of shoes that he signed.
Yeah, exactly. And so
A pair of shoes. I mean, you could take a kid out to dinner, and that could be considered against the rules. It's
It's stupid.
yeah, and so
Yeah.
this whole thing is part of the reason why there hasn't been any NCAA football or basketball games that have come out from EA in the past couple of years, is because they're not really sure how this is all going to play out, whether they're going to end up getting sued by it or what.
Mhm.
So
I
it's
don't blame them. I mean, get in trouble for making a video game based off of a real event. Well, not really real, but real people. And it's just not worth it to them. The money in the lawsuits is just a giant headache, and EA is already facing enough troubles as it is just making crappy games.
exactly. So I mean, this is pretty major. I mean, coming through and saying that now these athletes, they're effectively saying they're employees of the universities, which is it's huge. And I kind of agree with the athletes on this one. I mean, they're just as much employees as, say, a graduate student. He or she also gets his tuition paid for, but also gets a stipend that you can live off of. I mean, there's some of these student athletes that are playing sports ball for their school, and they can't afford to go out and have the rest of a college experience, go out and get hammered on the weekends or something, because they're not allowed to have a job outside of the team. They're already putting 80 hours a week in.
Yeah, they don't get paid for it. I used to know someone who did college baseball, and they got dicked hard because they were either doing school or they were at the field. Nothing else. They are at home doing homework.
Exactly.
And they didn't get paid doing it either.
Exactly. I mean, while everybody knows Shaq made all his money in college, I mean, it was never official. You can, of course, that's how schools got caught. With the NCAA violations. You look at Miami, you had this booster that was, flying kids out to all kinds of events and giving them money under the table. And part of it was because, this guy wanted to support the team, but at the same time, he also realized that these kids had no other income coming in. He was just trying to help them out. Of course, once it happened, they had major sanctions and things like that against him. So I think this is really going to change the landscape. I think of both the college athletic scene for the NCAA, but as also getting back into video games. This could open the path for the people that really want to buy the yearly edition of NCAA football or basketball or whatever else wants to be made. For whoever wants those roster updates. And now it also opens the path for, you're not going to get a game that has these teams that you get the logos that are licensed. So you'll be playing in the game with the Auburn Tigers or Alabama Crimson Tide, but your player is no longer going to be QB number 19 or something like that. They'll have the actual player's name and everything else in there.
Stephen Jones. And they're going to have their all personal history and their sister, mother, grandfather's name in there and stuff.
Exactly.
But honestly, this is definitely a big improvement for both rounds because, like you said, they can't have jobs outside of it. Mm-hmm. That's not fair to them because they're basically starving to death.
Exactly, and they're
eating in trash cans and
they're busting their ass, and especially in the case of football, I mean, they're facing career-ending injuries, and if they get an injury and they're off the team, well, that's it. They lose their scholarship. They've got nothing to show for the past couple of years. They're out of the game. I mean, they've been really nothing to fall back upon. So
and that
the solution that I've seen that's been tossed around in some of the sports media about this is the NCAA might kind of counter back and say, okay, well, we'll take some of this money that we're getting, out of the millions of dollars we're getting, we'll have the schools.
Here's a penny.
Yeah, exactly. The schools will put up a trust fund and say, not less than $5,000 a year goes into a trust fund for every athlete that's on the team. And then once they become ineligible, either due to injury or due to they decide to join the draft, or they some of them actually graduate out, then they'll get that whole trust fund that's been saved up for them the entire time they were there. I mean, that is one option. They don't exactly get the money while they're actively playing, so that way the NCAA can say, well, they're still amateurs, they're not professionals. But once they're ineligible, then they get the money that's been kind of saving up. I mean, it's not much. It's not the amount that the NCAA or these universities are making, but at least it's something. Something compensating for them for the time they're putting into it.
Yeah, that sounds pretty serious. I'm glad things are.
Yeah, I can see where it could be very good and very bad in both aspects, because an amateur is doing it to get to be the professional, but as soon as they get to college, that would immediately make them a professional if they would get the money right off the bat. And
exactly. And arguably, some of these teams, especially in the more powerful conferences, they're just as good as some of the professionals that are out there. I mean, you see these kids going, after 1 year in college, they're joining the pros. And so I think it's kind of a farce anyway to call a lot of it amateur, because some of these professionals or some of these amateurs are just as good, if not better, than folks getting paid for it professionally.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
all right.
That's what I got this week.
Sounds pretty good. All right, Veg, you got some Diablo news for us.
Yes, for the ones that come out for Xbox One and PS4 will be updated just as regularly as the PC version of it, because Reaper of Souls is coming out for the PS4 and the Xbox One.
Nice.
I will not be getting it, though.
Well, you already have.
Why is that?
No, I actually traded it in.
Oh, you did?
Because no one plays it. Coles is never on Xbox, and then I'll play it with you, and then...
I'm probably going to get it for the PS4, actually.
Yeah, but they said that they're going to update it regularly, just like the PC version. It might be a couple versions behind, probably, most likely.
But they're going to work
technically, the Xbox 360 version was in front of the PC version when it first came out.
Sort of, yeah, and then it just fell way behind as soon as Reaper of Souls came out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's kind of funny because the console version was kind of like a cross between vanilla and the 2.0 loot system.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting to see that at times the console was ahead of the PC, but now they're kind of behind the PC, but they were wanting to catch up to the PC, which is...
It was almost like a testing ground. I think they tested a lot of their ideas for 2.0 loot in consoles and then ported it over to PC.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's funny that you can't get Reaper Souls through a DLC system with Diablo 3. You actually have to go out and separately purchase Reaper of Souls for it.
But they're going to have patches.
They're going to have patches for it,
So
yeah.
they can't have patches for vanilla, but they can have patches. For the next
Logic,
Souls.
yes.
Yeah, logic. Yeah, that logic.
Lack thereof.
Now, what about if you've got if you're running it on an older console and you decide to upgrade, say, go from your PS3 to your PS4, does your save transfer over to it, or do you have to start
No.
over again?
Nope.
You have to start
Oh, wow.
over again.
I had this problem actually with a friend. He was playing Diablo 3 over at my house on Xbox 360 on co-op mode on his Xbox Live account, but it cannot transfer to his other Xbox 360 Xbox Live account.
Because it's not saved onto the cloud.
Right.
So
that's
It's,
harsh.
it's saved onto the system. So
yeah, which was kind of a flaw I felt, but
yeah, where GTA 5 is saved onto their own cloud system. So, for example, I will be getting that for my PS4, where like right now my character's level 88, I think, which is pretty damn high in that game,
Mhm.
and I will be able to transfer that from my Xbox 360 to my PS4
Nice.
That's always good.
because it's saved onto their cloud system because they knew that eventually they are going to do crossovers for the PC and stuff like that.
and you can do the same with Call of Duty. Call of Duty Ghosts allowed for crossover.
Really?
Yeah, Xbox 360 to Xbox One and PS3 to PS4, you can cross over your Call of Duty account.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
So,
And then that's pretty much what I got for the D3 news. And then they finally announced the gold amount, or the leaked gold amount for how much the Azeroth, the Alliance chopper is going to
let me
be.
face palm before this even happens.
How many zeros?
5.
So it'll be
100,000.
so that'll be less than the currently most expensive mount in the game.
Yeah.
Not by much.
Not by much,
It's
Less than
still
Spark Bunny.
but it is
I'm-
technically less expensive.
Makes
Yeah.
me want to roll a Goblin just to buy it. But you can't, I guess. Because Goblin gets cheaper.
I don't think you
Um,
can.
No, it's
No,
Alliance
It's an alliance
only.
chopper. Goblins
it's
are not
Alliance
alliance.
You already get your free Horde chopper as a goblin.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
horrible. Why do they get free stuff?
Because
They
it was
we got
a one-
outvoted.
Because it was a
Doesn't-
one-sided bitch slap. That's why.
And
Oh,
then
look,
even
we're
though
gonna like what? Oh, we're gonna put a
No.
pile of shit right here that has the Horde flag in it, and then a pile of shit right here that has the Alliance flag in it. Vote! Which one's a better looking pile of shit?
want to buy compressor.
Oh my
Yes.
god!
Jesus,
Oh,
get my ears. But I can understand having to do something extra for the Alliance version. But 100,000 gold, really? Average
Makes
Joe
sense
does
to me.
not have 100,000 gold.
no, they
I
don't.
don't know.
Yeah, then again, you're also not talking to an average Joe. Wink, wink, Brox. Wink,
Yeah,
wink.
we got Brock.
That's true. Brox can buy alliance choppers for the
I-
entire guild.
I used to be able to until I spent all my gold on random stuff because I was in the Panther selling business when it first came out. Now everybody has a Panther, so I can't make gold that way anymore.
Yeah, and then you got people selling the duped Onyx Panther, and that one always cracks me up too.
They're duping it? Oh.
Yeah, I mean you see it all. At least I see it all the time in trade chat. People are like, "Yeah, I'm selling a Onyx Panther, 23K," and I'm like, I always say back in trade chat, look, it costs a minimum of 80 to make if you don't have any
Right?
build perks.
Oh,
Like,
that's killer.
what kind of lots are you taking? And at that point, that's usually when the rants start, and it's entertaining.
So people are actually able to dupe Panthers? Or
Yeah, that's what people are saying. I mean, it's been going around for a while where they're duping them, and then when the people,
There was a wait.
they'll send them cash on delivery, to the mailbox, and then when you go try to use it, it says this item is out of charges. So you don't even get it.
that's
And the people selling it are usually level 1 throwaway tunes.
And there was actually a duping way back in early Cataclysm of the reigns from the ICC Death Knight quest, the Death Charger. And there was like six Death Knight Chargers getting sold by one person. And they're like, it's something fishy.
That's very fishy.
Oh, the
Right.
funnier thing right now, another current scamming trend is, you'll buy WoW time for 150k gold for 90 days.
Wow. All right.
Say it ain't so.
It ain't
Okay,
so
Wildstar.
All right, Coles.
Um,
Last minute. What you got?
Yeah, this is kind of a last minute thing, but it's pretty interesting now because I found that Casey Hudson, who is the Mass Effect creator is actually leaving BioWare.
Hmm.
Now, a really crazy part about this is he's leaving during a period when they just announced Mass Effect 4, and it's in production.
It's probably why they're leaving, though, for the simple fact that they probably destroyed whatever they were going to do with any ambitions for their game and changed it.
Yeah, but he was also one of the people that announced this game.
Maybe
So
just
he had part to write in it. Now, where is it just gonna disappear off the map? Like Kingdom Hearts 3?
No, they're going to continue producing it. It's going to be under someone else now.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to. I swear, if it's someone that's going to cater to fan service, I'm going to kick them. I'm going to go to California because that's probably where they are and kick them in their nut.
Well, it's just really weird that it's like writing a book halfway, and then here, have this other guy write my book. I'm gonna go do something else now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they pull it off, but if I play the game and halfway through it, there's a completely sudden different change of pace, you'll probably know the reason why.
Yeah. So why did he leave? I mean, was there?
He didn't give a reason. No reason was given. At least not publicly at the time of this podcast. He had not given a reason yet. So
Well, I know with EA, they're legendary for giving their employees really hard time with money. So it might come down to that.
And
it might have been.
Another thing is, I know EA is really hard on time frames.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Might be schedule type of thing.
Yeah, and if he feels he can't put out a finished product like some EA companies haven't been, I would be pretty hurt over my baby in a way, getting cut in half because of time constraints.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking what WoW's doing now. Like, it might be released near Christmas, not, they don't give out a specific date anymore. And I kind of like that for the simple fact is we're going to get a better finished product, even though it's still going to freaking crash on the first day, regardless.
Except the
last one didn't crash on the first day.
No, the last one was really good.
Yeah.
Cataclysm was really good.
No, Cataclysm was not good. It worked for the first day, then it stopped working for the rest of the week.
I thought Cataclysm was a pretty smooth launch.
Mists of Pandaria was the best World of Warcraft launch. Now, it wasn't without its issues, but I really feel that Blizzard is learning from these launches. I mean, as can be seen in Diablo 3's X-Pack.
Yeah, there was no problems with that whatsoever.
There was no problem at all with that one.
Yeah, that was
Another thing
other than the
Diablo
once in a
3
while.
launch.
Yeah. Oh my. I think everybody learned from the SimCity launch and went, no,
we ain't doing
no.
Yeah, because I still remember when back when I was out in San Francisco and chilling at my friend's house, and his sister-in-law worked for EA, completely in an unrelated department, and all she had to do for hours on end was to watch these graphs to see what servers were crashing, what problems there were, and then she would have to go up an email chain to report issues, and it was terrible. So yeah, they had a pretty...
God, it kind of sounds like what happened at 3 Mile Island, just getting secondhand information. Just disaster.
I'm telling you what, as long as a game doesn't have a launch, an MMO game doesn't have a launch like The Elder Scrolls Online, it'll be fine. That was the worst launch I've ever seen in my life.
What happened?
Well, the servers were bad, chat was bad, every third, fourth quest was bugged to incompletion levels.
Oh,
like the NPC just wouldn't spawn that you had to kill. I played the 3-day head start, and I honestly did not play a single day after the 3-day head start.
And the funny thing, you're like, oh, everybody should buy ESO Online. Everybody needs to buy it.
It was better in beta than it was in live. It was more stable in beta than it was in live.
That's because you don't have a whole bunch of freaking window lickers playing it at the same time either.
Well, it should be a finished product when they release it, and they should, think of these stress tests that, I don't know. It just was bad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And another thing, since we like to go over lawsuits in the gaming industry, Killzone Shadowfall gets sued for $5 million for falsely advertising 1080p. The guy says that it wasn't 1080p, it looked like 1080p, but they used gimmicks to get it to look like 1080p.
Yeah, they did some sort of I read about that. They did some sort of upscaling or something like that. Like it's 960 by 1080, and then they just kind of stretch it out versus
So falsely advertising.
That's.
$5 million. If
I
they
want
win
my
this,
pixels.
I just quit.
Give me my pixels.
My pixel.
Save
gee.
the pixels.
What's funny is in his lawsuit,
We
he
need to save
said,
the pixels campaign right here, guys.
it says right in his lawsuit, it says it caused him material harm because it's not 1080p as advertised.
Material harm.
He probably got mad and chucked the damn controller at his TV and broke it.
Wait, is the Show-san making a lawsuit? Show, are you out there? Are you making a lawsuit, dude?
Are you that bored where you're at that you need to start fighting gaming companies?
Maybe 960p alone just gives him epilepsy. So he just can't look at 960.
He gets Warzone epilepsy.
Here we are harping on a guy that's not even here. Poor Show.
I will say it went to his face. I don't care.
Oh, I apologize in advance, Show.
I don't. Cry me a damn river.
Yeah, C-Veg. If you have any problems, C-Veg. All right. So, all right. Anyway, so what I got this week is in Cologne, Germany. They are having the annual Gamescom trade fair, and there's expected to be a whole bunch of big names there. You're going to see Microsoft there. They're going to have a big Halo announcement, from what I understand. PS4 is going to be there. Sony.
So it's kind of like a smaller version of E3.
Yeah, it's kind of like the E3 of Europe, it seems like.
It is. Ubisoft will be there. Activision, maybe talking about something having to do with Battlefield.
No Nintendo.
I am so done with Call of Duty and Battlefield.
Yeah, Nintendo is not there, but apparently they'll have some stuff on show anyway. So, but
well, Nintendo's like Smash Brothers. Drop the mic.
Yeah, that's all they have to do, man. Or Zelda.
Yeah.
Or
The Legend of Zelda. Have you seen the previews for this game yet? Gameplay.
yeah.
That's
Oh.
why everyone's buying a Nintendo Wii U.
Smash
Right
Bros.
now,
Mario
Wii
Kart
U
8.
is the highest selling console.
Yeah,
Right.
just because of those titles that are.
Yeah.
That's all.
what-
That's all Nintendo has to do.
They're just the same business.
Leverage
Just
their
sell
franchise.
Smash Brothers, Zelda, and some random Mario or Mario Kart.
Don't throw Pokemon on the Wii U as a 3D adventure. Win life.
Yeah.
Nintendo, you'll be set.
$1 billion
for like 10 years.
just
That is it.
throwing money at the screen.
Not even joking. It would sell so much. It'd be insane.
Yeah.
MMO Smash Brothers.
Oh shit, my dollar.
He's dropping money already.
He is. He's dropping
I'll have to
money.
pick
He's
that up
kinda
later.
waiting for the
I
announcement.
see the dollar. I can't pick it up. I'm too fat.
But as a side note, we also do LCS stuff on the show. The EU LCS finals will be there as well, which will happen that weekend as well. So cool. Gamescom.
Awesome.
All right. So unless
Gotta
anyone
watch
has
that.
any other news, has got any news?
Oh, have you seen? Smite had their first LAN event, by the way.
Yeah, they had a nice giant. What was it? $40,000 prize pool.
Well, this is past that. They're actually doing LCS style seasons.
Hmm.
Is it
Oh,
LAN
are
event?
they?
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is
God,
really
I'm
cool.
gonna start watching these.
Smite is very interesting.
Smite is very fun to watch, actually. Especially
Yeah,
with a lot of champions. For example, like Thor and Thanatos, who can jump up into the air and air assassinate people.
Yeah, that move is badass. It's one of the moves that I identify with Smite.
Mm-hmm. The aerial combat, be able to have a X, Y, and a Z plane is really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, and it confuses me because everyone keeps saying bot, on top, when it's now mid, left, or right. And if the ADC and the support, they don't really have supports per se, but it's more or less they go to the Gold Fury, the solo laners go to mid and Molten Giant.
In fact, I'm fairly
Interesting.
positive that there's supports in Smite.
Yeah, well, there's that. Well, pretty much the only one I could really identify is Aphrodite, or Giant Tits, as I like to call her.
Who's the one that blows hearts around all over the place? Isn't that
That's
Cupid.
Aphrodite. Oh, Cupid. He's an ADC,
Cupid.
though.
Cupid. That's
Cupid's ADC.
No,
yeah.
not Cupid. That's not what I'm thinking. I mean, it might be Aphrodite's. But anyway. All right, so that'll do it for the news of the week. Let's move on to the game pick of the week.
Game pick of the week.
Woo!
Dun-dun-dun.
Colt, what you got?
My game pick of the week is actually I just bought a PS2 and a PS3 last week, both of them. And a game that I mostly bought my PS3 for was a game called Drakengard 3.
I heard about that
Yeah,
one.
I've heard of that one.
It's from Square Enix. Drakengard is a series
Called
known.
it's Squeenix.
Squeenix. Really, Veg?
That's just bad. But so it's this game series, Drakengard 1, 2, and 3, known mostly for their really oddball storylines. And Drakengard 3, you play a person named Zero, and her most wanted wish in the whole world is to kill her sisters named 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those are her
What?
sisters' names. Yes. She wants to kill her sisters.
What the heck kind of names
Is
are
this
those?
is this like Dr. Seuss with a wicked twist?
No, not at all. But you have a pet dragon, and your dragon's name is first Michael and then Michael after he dies.
Michael?
Yeah, because it's just a really oddball story. And her reasoning for killing her sisters is after they got along for 30 years is just fine and dandy. She wants to be the only sister. So she can have all the other sisters' powers.
Okay, so it's like Dr. Seuss meets Highlander.
That's why I was thinking Highlander. That's the first thing I thought of.
Oh, one sister to rule them all!
Right. Yeah, so she wants to kill these sisters because she wants all their power.
Greedy bitch.
Gameplay-wise, it's interesting. It's Dynasty Warriors meets Shadow of the Colossus. You have wide, huge battles, with hundreds and hundreds of enemies, and then you have some missions where you got to kill one giant enemy.
That kind of sounds like, what the hell's his name? The guy with Dante in it?
Devil May Cry?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like that.
Kind of. This is a lot. The battles are a lot bigger scale. So much so that your dragon comes down and blows up fire and kills like hundreds of enemies at once.
This game kind of sounds badass.
This game's pretty fun. Graphics are pretty low for a end of the lifespan of a PS3, but Drakengard's never been known for their graphics. It's mostly been known for their amazing being able to switch between flight and ground mode just in a giant wide-scale battle, and the story. The story is always very kind of makes you think. Like the ending of Drakengard 2 ended with a bunch of demon babies flying around shooting arrows at people. It's just that kind of story style. But it's a really fun game. And yeah, I definitely recommend it if you have a PS3 and you're looking up to pick up a game, since PS4 is kind of on a stale state right now.
Yeah. And this was a relatively new game too. It's just 3 months
Came out.
ago, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, random news. Bayonetta 2 was announced officially. For anyone who likes Bayonetta.
Good enough.
Awesome.
Is that your game of the week, Veg?
No.
Someone?
No.
Some-
I don't have a Wii to play that game.
Oh.
You heard it here first on the Six Gaming Podcast.
Does not have a
Veg
Wii.
Doesn't have a Wii.
Oh, Veg. Poor Veg. Must be a rough life going to the bathroom.
And there's the finger.
Hey, we're number one.
Yeah. All right, Veg. Why don't you give us your game?
Mine originally was going to be Terra, but since I started playing this with my brother today, it is going to be Fear 3.
Ooh,
Not
nice.
uno, not dos, but tres. So basically what it comes down to after the third one, the first one you find out that things are pretty bad in this world. Things are pretty messed up with this psychic girl who scares the living hell out of you. And it's pretty scary for the first. It's kind of like Dead Space in the matter of sense of fear. The first one was pretty damn scary. Second one was mildly jump scary. The third one's like action-packed and blood everywhere. So it went down that sense.
It sounds
and
like we need to get Show to play this game. Here we go pick it on Show again.
the first Fear yet. I've actually suggested it to him a couple times. But the neat thing about Fear 3 is it's co-op based for the campaign, so I've been playing it with my brother. So there's me, who is alive, and then his brother. In the second one, you shoot in the head, and he's dead. Your brother's dead. So he comes back as like a poltergeist who can possess people, hold them up in the air, shoot them with these spectral bolts, and then the alive person, which is first player, they basically have guns and do all the tactical stuff with the guns and blow everything up.
So it's like a Death Knight.
He is, yes and no. Well, I don't know if Death Knights can possess people. He's kind of like a Shadow Priest and a Death Knight combined. So he can possess people. Basically, that gives him more health because to kill him, he has to go. They have to go through the person that he possessed body, and then through him. And when he
co-op.
Yeah, it's been really fun. I'd say we're about almost halfway done, and we started today. It's pretty fun. He likes to complain that things are hard when they're not. It's just strategy. So it's a basic first-person shooter, from what I can tell so far. Nothing too, I guess, other than the co-op aspect of the paranormal ghost buddy brother. That I can really what's the word I'm trying to say? It doesn't make it unique in its own. It doesn't make it unique for the shooting at all. It's pretty bland, to be honest. Other than the recoil is stupid. Oh hey, I shoot 2 shots. My gun's in the roof.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
well, maybe you're in the sky and the gravity's pulling it up.
That's true.
You never know.
No. Just no.
No?
No. So it does have a couple elements of scariness as well. They went more towards the weirdness factor for this one, not the scariness. Like, ooh, you're illusioning everything. Ooh.
It's like Fight Club.
Pretty much. It's fun though. I am having fun playing with my brother. So it's right now I think $20 he said he bought it for. I picked up an Humble Bundle, so
awesome.
It's $20. Definitely something to look at. I definitely recommend playing it with someone else other than the solo campaign.
Otherwise, you might get too scared.
No, it's just more fun with another person. It's like some other activities, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, it sounds like a game that almost. Jesus. It was in the middle of talking and I got it.
Brock didn't say anything, but the look on his face conveyed his disbelief in what Vetch just said.
Way to go, Vetch.
I win.
Let's
comments on everybody else.
Let's move on. All right, Brox.
So my pick of the week is kind of a new version of an old game, or newer version of an old game. Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition.
Yes.
Baldur's Gate.
So with Baldur's Gate, I seem to go through through periods of that one where I played a lot for a couple weeks and then put it away for a while. So Enhanced Edition is actually not made by BioWare. It's made by a company called Beamdog. And so they've gone through and they've acquired the licenses and the rights to all the original assets of Baldur's Gate, and they've redone it. And so it's like a high resolution. They've revamped the quest log so it mostly works now, where it separates things out into actual quests instead of just one long list of everything you've done in the game. And they've also added a lot of new content. There's 3 new characters in the game, each with their own miniature quest line, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
and the interesting thing is, it's out for a ton of platforms. It's Mac, Windows, Android, iOS, for iPad, and
so they want you to play it everywhere.
They really want you to play it everywhere. I'm not sure. I only have it on the Mac and the PC, so I'm not sure if the saves go across different devices from mobile to desktop. But the game itself, it's fun to go back into an old classic. Baldur's Gate is seen as one of the 10 best role-playing games that's been created.
Yeah, absolutely. Baldur's Gate is a classic.
Exactly. You just can't argue with a miniature giant space hamster, that one of your characters carries around with him.
Yeah.
And so, I've been just playing the heck out of that one lately because, like I said, you sit down and say, well, what do I want to play? The default is, sometimes it's just Baldur's Gate. Sometimes you just got to go back and play it.
Yeah. Sounds cool.
Right. Yeah.
So, kind of touched on a mobile device, but haven't actually had a mobile game here, so I'm going to whip one out here. My game of the week originated on the Android, but just recently, a couple weeks ago, came out for the iOS, and it's made by Google. It's called Ingress.
Ingress?
Now, Ingress can best be described as an MMORPG where the world that it uses is the real world. Now, basically what's happening is that you have all this exotic matter coming into the world that you can't see, but you have this device, your mobile phone, that can basically see all this exotic matter. And you go around picking this stuff up, and you use it to capture these portals. Now, these portals, like for example, we have a duck pond nearby. Well, there's a portal on the duck pond. Somebody actually went to the duck pond, took a picture of it on their mobile phone, submitted it to Google, and say, hey, make this a portal. So you can add portals to the game like that. Now, there's two sides. There's two factions. There's the Enlightened faction, which wants this XM to come in because they believe it will help evolve mankind. And you got this other faction that thinks, well, this is going to take control of our minds. We don't want to have this stuff around. We're going to fight against it. So it's a fight between the Enlightened and the Resistance. And so you got these two factions going around to the same locations in the real world, fighting over these portals. And it can get pretty entertaining in terms of, like I have a street corner down here, and one of the things that they do in this area is put up this big round circular thing. They hang it from the street posts. It looks pretty cool. That has the street names on it. Well, those are portals, and every once in a while, someone gets bold and comes and tries to take my portal. So I just literally take my phone, walk out the door for a minute or two, and take it back. It's like, yeah, you're not getting this, dude. So
it kind of reminds me of like the Google Maps Pokemon thing a little bit, except more.
Yes, that'd be so awesome if that ever happened, by the way.
I think it already is happening.
No, it was the April Fools.
But one of the things I wanted to really highlight about this game is the social aspect. In order to get the most powerful portals, you need to have 8 different people show up at the same portal.
At the same time, or?
Not necessarily at the same time. It helps because it won't get attacked if you do it all at the same time. And they also have these big events. Like they just had something called the Anomaly down in Galveston, where a whole bunch of people met up. And apparently, my side, the Enlightened, won. Woohoo! So.
That's crazy.
But I'm finding out very quickly that I'm going to be getting a lot of exercise playing this game.
That sounds really interesting.
Is it only for iPhone only?
It is iPhone and Android, and it was originally on the Android. So Android has all the features. There's a bunch of missing features on the iOS, like you can't submit portals on the iOS.
Wait, what's it called? Ingress?
Ingress. And just so everyone knows, we're also trying something a little different since we have that Facebook page now. We have the event up on the page, and if you go into the event, you can actually see I'm posting links to everything that we're talking about today on the event. So you can go back later and check it out.
So I need to get in this game just so I can go drive down the road and steal all your portals.
Yeah, that's what I say. Wait, steal?
Yeah, steal them all.
You gotta play for the green side. Don't be a Smurf.
The Smurf. Oh,
yeah, they're blue. They're
Ron,
Smurfs.
I'm bigger than you. I can't be no damn Smurf.
I definitely think it's a bad thing and should be stopped. So I'm on that Smurf side.
Because like it's not Pokemon. It has to be stopped.
See, my wife is even threatening to play the game on the Resistance side.
Well,
But that's just
she
because
does
she
anything
doesn't
to
want me
spite
win.
you, so why am I not
That's the only
surprised?
reason she'd play that side. Anyway, that's ingress.com is the awesome app. Cool. So,
Yeah, I just downloaded it.
all right. So let's talk about little LCS. First of all, the Fantasy LCS ended. We already know that Veg won. But Veg lost his last week, snapping my 4-game losing streak. Thank God. I lost 3 out of those 4 games by less than 10 points. I could have very easily have beaten Veg.
If Veg would have just, frickin' lost 1 week, I'd have been beating him.
Didn't I have like a 7-game winning streak?
Yeah, we were all 3-3 at one point. You had You had at least a 4-game winning streak. I don't
Yeah,
know.
4-game. Mm-hmm.
But I think it was longer than that because I beat you in the opening week, and I think you lost the next week as well.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
1
I
and
did.
3.
Yeah, he was
He was
1
1
and
and
3 and
3.
ended up going 7 and 3 before losing his last week. So, Veg just exploded. Me and
Way to go,
Veg
man.
both had 2 out of the top 5 players. I had Reckless and Creighton, but I didn't pick him up until late in the season. And then Veg, I don't remember who your second one was, but Frog and
Kerp.
Was it Kerp?
Yeah.
Veg is Ron's forgetting he still took last place.
Yeah, I took last place because I lost 4 games, or 3 games by less than 10 points. What the hell is that?
The other show. He was in 3rd.
Yeah, Show's in 3rd.
I took 2nd.
I honestly thought I was gonna lose.
I thought you were gonna lose too. You're in last place for like the whole time until you're in 1st. Losing until you're winning.
Losing until he won. That's a Dignitas strategy, man. That's not a Reginald strategy.
Trust in
I'm
the
not sure.
Skara.
Trust in Skara, yes.
Scar's love, Scar's life.
So Cloud9,
No. Oh no!
what did you say?
Scar is love, Scar is
Don't
life.
ever look that up. Except it's not Skara. I'm not gonna say the name.
Skara is love. Skara is life. I'm looking this up right now.
No, it's not Skara though.
Oh. No, no.
No,
It's
just
a new saying in League of Legends.
Oh.
I really hope it's not.
It is. Plenty of people have said.
Well, now you started with the trend of ripping pepperonis.
That
Yeah,
happened.
and frickin' Rivington is starting doing that. Is he listening to you or something?
Is that what he said?
He says rest
Yeah.
in pepperonis. That's
Wow.
what he says.
Wow. That copy, I should have that trademark.
Oh. It's so sad. But all right, so moving on. Of course, the North American LCS concluded last weekend with kind of a surprise. Cloud9 took first place.
That's not a surprise.
Let's call it that.
To me, it's not a surprise. I mean, I told you what I thought about LMQ last week.
Yeah, they kind of.
LMQ still did really well
Yes,
Yeah.
they did.
for what they're supposed to.
They beat TSM, which was good.
Curse shocked me the most out of all of them, though.
First looked scary.
Yeah, they towards the end they started.
Complexity in the playoffs. Ugh.
I wanted complexity in playoffs.
I wanted them as much as I wanted XGG in there.
Not to mention, if Curse lost one more game, EG would have been in the playoffs.
Oh, that's scary.
EG went 4-0 in Super Week.
Yeah, that's right. Crappa played his ass off.
Mm-hmm. He was actually going to
That's a long
retire.
ass play off.
If he lost one game that week, he said he was going to retire.
No, he didn't lose.
Nope. So
He
he's
should
gonna
play. Maybe he should play until he loses.
Well, that's
This
not
was
going to be
the
long
first
because I'm pretty sure the next game he plays he's going to lose.
Yeah.
No, I think they'll go through relegation just fine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't like Crepo and I don't like Complexity Black.
I like Crepo and I like Complexity. So I
No,
mostly
they
like
both
them.
need to go away.
I like Complexity's
Not
mid lane.
herpes.
Well, anyway, we also have the EU regional quarterfinals also happened. So again, like I said earlier, they're going to Gamescom to play the semis and the finals. Roccat and SK Gaming advanced, much to the pleasure of Veg, because he didn't want Super Hot Crew to win at all.
I love
No, I
Super
didn't.
Hot Crew.
That's a stupid name and a stupid logo. Well, just like
They're
I don't
so
want
good.
Unicorns of Love to go in through. No.
They're
Even
so
though
good.
I probably would prefer them over Super Hot Crew in name wise.
Yeah,
Super
what's
Hot Crew
going to
is so
happen if SHC's got to play UOL?
Right.
Bungholio? I don't know.
Well, I'm pretty sure Unicorns of Love will actually probably pick up a sponsorship if they get in and change their name. That's my.
That would be depressing. Poor Joe Cooper would be so sad.
The Unicorns of Snapple.
Well, that's Rocket. Rocket used to be some weird name.
I didn't even know Rocket was a brand name until today, actually.
Wow, Ron.
I knew that because I looked up Rocket when they first got in the LCS.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, we got that going on, and then of course we just talked about Unicorns of Love. They'll be going into the spring promotional tournament along with H2K and SK Gaming Prime.
Poor Alex Itch.
I know, right?
You
That
got-
means ninjas in pajamas in the dust. Did you see the look on his face after they lost?
Yeah, he looked like he
I think
wanted
he was
to
done with
cry.
life. He was done with life. He was like, I quit.
Yep.
It's a long wait, a year to try to get back in the LCS.
Now, what happens if Gambit qualifies? He's got to be like kicking himself. If Gambit requalifies, Alex Hitch definitely made a bad decision.
It was more Alex Hitch didn't like the people on the team anymore than he didn't like the team.
Yep.
Which is
But now
sad.
he's not a pro.
Yeah. He's not even. He's barely on the amateur scene, to be honest.
We got those epic veg hiccups going on.
Oh God, Veg.
So. But yeah, NALCS doesn't happen this week. They don't happen until PAX East, I believe.
Damn, that's a bit away.
Or PAX Prime, not PAX East. What am I saying? So yeah, it's 3 weeks
until
out. That's why Monte
23rd.
Cristo's so pissed off at the schedule. That's why he pulled all his guys over to Korea to have their boot camp.
Korea.
Yes. So anyway, that's our LCS update. Of course, with the playoffs happening, there'll be a little less and less to report as time goes on. But of course, Worlds will be coming up September and October. Look forward to that. All right. So the guy that's been sitting there twiddling his thumbs and, according to a dairy, going la 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 for the past 5 minutes, Brox, you got a gold goblining tip for us in World of Warcraft.
Yeah, the tip this week is kind of not really so much of a beginner tip. In fact, some people, my wife calls it kind of a stalkery type tip, but it's know your enemy. I mean, especially as you get more competitive in the markets, you'll find that you tend to get undercut quite a bit. Sometimes it'll happen within 5 minutes or so of you posting your auctions. Well, how do they do it? Because people know who you are, they know who your alts are, and if you really want to stay competitive, you got to do the same. And so one of the things that I do is, I kind of take notice. And as I mentioned before, I play the glyph market on our server. I notice there's about 3 or 4 other people that are actively playing that market and are post more than 50 glyphs or so, different types. So what you can do, if you have Trade Skill Mastery, you can actually right-click on their name in the window that adds them to your friends list. That way you can instantly see, are they online? If they're not online, go ahead and post.
It's kind of like what they do on EVE Online, though. Like, for example, there's campers on the system, like campers in the system. You can add them to your friends list even though they can't see you add them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now the trick
No,
also
thy
is
enemy.
if you go to wowprogress.com, you can put in as long as your competitor is not using a level 1 alt that doesn't show up in the armory, you can go to wowprogress.com, type in that toon name, and it'll tell you all their alts.
Wow.
It's fairly accurate at that, or it used to be. I just looked now, and you have to have logged in on these alts within the last 15 days or so for it to show up now. They don't keep a full cache of it all. But that way you can tell,
I'm
okay.
pretty sure that got them into trouble, though.
Yeah. So, okay, look, my competitor's in Siege of Orgrimmar right now. I know from experience that as soon as they finish, they're going to go out there and get on their bank alt, start posting a lot of stuff. Maybe I'll just wait an extra 20 minutes or so until they finish up and log off, and I'll undercut him as soon as he finishes. And so it's just a different way of kind of knowing the competition that's out there. And the smart thing to do
That's
is
not beginning level. That is advanced. I don't like you. Like you're being a dick, so I'm going to be one back.
It's not the fact that you're quote being a dick. It's that you want to be able to make the money, and if someone else is trying to prevent you from making money, you have to find another way to do it.
Yeah, not only that.
My question is,
it's good to know when your competitor's online, because if you're going to post something and your competitor goes through and undercuts you almost immediately because they're also online and using the same tactic, you've lost a deposit on all those items that you posted. Now in glyphs, you're only talking a couple silver, but on some of these transmog pieces of gear, you're talking deposits of several gold, and that adds up over time.
yeah. My thing, though, is since they're going to combine the auction houses, the Horde and the Alliance, what's that going to do for that tactic, though? Is that going to completely destroy it?
That's going to make it a little more difficult. I mean, I'm assuming you're only going to be able to add people that are on your same faction. And also, this used to be a lot easier back when Undermine Journal was still around, because you can type any seller's name into Undermine Journal on your server, and it would show you a heat map of when they're posting over the past 2 weeks. It would average it out. And so you
That is kind of creepy.
So I can kind of see, okay, this person posts between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m., and then this person over here posts in the morning. And I've actually reported several people and gotten those accounts thrown off, because there were 2 competitors about a year ago that I saw that were posting over 500 auctions an hour, 24 hours a day. And I said, that can't be a real person. That's some sort of bot. And so I was actually able to use that information and report those people to Blizzard. And strangely enough, they disappeared after a day or so of me reporting it. and I had the market for a couple days. But
Damn
it's kind of
bot.
nice. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people that play the auction house really heavily use this to make sure they're not posting whenever their competitors are online. And in most markets, to be honest, there's only about 5 or 6 big players on a server that are controlling most of it. And if you can post whenever they're not online and undercut them, even if you're only undercutting for a couple hours, you're still going to have that chance of making the sale there.
Funny enough, I've been selling a lot of gems on my Paladin on Coral Straz. I usually start putting them up at like 3 a.m. and then by the time I come back on, they're all sold.
Oh yeah, and that's how I was making a killing when I was over in India, because I was my daytime was nighttime server time, and so I was always logging in generally after everybody else was asleep, posting everything, and then folks who wake up first thing in the morning say, hey, I want to buy a glyph. Hey, this one's the cheapest. Why not? And so it worked great for 2 years. And so I'm actually having a little more difficult time now that I'm playing in normal North American hours.
So that's why there's so many Chinese gold farmers.
Exactly. I mean, there is a little bit of truth to that, because they're playing overnight, and you get these night owls that are online, and they're seeing that the gold farmers are the ones posting the cheapest auctions, because just the time is different.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
So that's my gold tip. I mean, be a stalker.
Well, it's a good one. So.
Scary.
All right. So we're going to move on to the 6 minutes to release guild news. And we don't have a lot, because we didn't do a lot last week. We ended up killing Garrosh early on Tuesday, going into, and this was a week ago this past Tuesday. We ended up going into Heart of Fear, killed 2 bosses there on Heroic, and then just did nothing for the rest of the week. We had like 6-7 people show up on Wednesday, and 5 people show up on the following Monday. So I get the message. There's not a lot of people that want to do these heroic modes. It sucks because
I was kind of asleep on Wednesday.
it sucks because I want to go and do them. I want to get these guys down. It lowers the numbers on the website. Those are pretty important to me. So
yeah, not only that, but I mean, there's some fights that are heroic only that the guild's never seen. I mean, there was Sinestra back in Cataclysm, and then
Rodden.
Yeah, Rodden.
Throne of Thunder.
So, I mean, we're not even out of Heart of Fear yet. We've only across the entire X-Pack, we only have 8 heroic bosses down. So, I mean, we have everything normal cleared, which is good. I think that's great to have, but I think it's also something we should have. We should have all that normal stuff cleared. And in the next X-Pack, when it becomes heroic and mythical, our primary guild's focus will be heroic and not mythical. I want to keep on that same. Just because they're changing the name doesn't mean we're going to be, we're going to wuss out and do flex. We're not going to do that.
So is normal going to be heroic, or is it just?
What is currently
flex.
Normal will become heroic in name only. What is currently heroic will become mythical. And the difference are the raid sizes. So on what will be heroic, raid size will be flexible 10 to 25.
I really hope they're not doing the 40-man molten core.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. Mythical, for mythical, that is a strict 20-man raid. So it's the first time they've put out a 20-man raid since vanilla.
Yeah, the first one was a 20-man Encourage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact,
That's going to be a little difficult, especially because I know like our mutual friend Energy, he's in a 25-man heroic guild only.
Uh-huh.
They don't do heroic 10-mans. They don't do 10-mans, period. 10-mans to them are like...
5-mans anymore.
Yep, they have to cut 5 people.
Yep. 5 people are sitting.
Yep.
Yeah. So I know it's going to... Well, then again, the whole thing could be drawn back to vanilla when they cut 40-man down to 25.
Yeah, this isn't the first time they've done this. So...
I can kind of see Blizzard's point, though. I mean, it's got to be a lot easier to tune those mythical raids for knowing you're only going to have 20 people, not tuning it for 10 or 25. Yeah. I can kind of see the point on that one.
Yeah.
But then the other side of the coin is that they're going to be tuning what will become normal and heroic, and I think they're even doing this for LFR. They have to tune those for 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, etc., etc.
That's true.
for every possible count.
Oh, that's gonna be a pain in the ass.
Yeah. So
Well, it also makes the question: is 16 going to be better than 17 for a certain fight? Because if there's more orbs that spawn with one more or two more orbs that spawn with 17 besides 16. I mean, are you gonna want 17 people over 16 people?
yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Like Neuroshen is a good example of that.
Yeah, because you can get 12 people and you only get, what, 2 orbs, and then you get 13, you get 4.
Yeah, 3. But
3, yeah.
it's different, and it makes things a little more difficult. So they have to find those points, and they can only do that, I assume, by playtesting, and that's going to be a big royal pain in the butt. So we'll see how they do it. I do like the new loot systems and stuff coming in, so that'll be good. But yeah, and Veg was mentioning something a little earlier, and no one brought this up in the news, but I'm going to bring it up here because it's kind of big. For World of Warcraft's 10th anniversary, they're going to be bringing back Molten Core as a 40-man LFR.
Awesome. So excited.
That's gonna be horrible.
So instead of dealing with 24 other window lickers, you now have to deal with 39 other window lickers. Good.
And you just know at some point that the instant chats is going to come down to, did someone say Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker?
Yes! Yes! And I will bring mine, and I will be right there along with them.
I'll laugh if they get like an epic version of that.
Oh, they have to. They've
got to.
They've got to do it.
Yeah, software camera.
Have they said if they're going to drop actual loot in this, or is it
No,
just?
they haven't said anything about it.
They're probably going to.
It'd be cool. I'd enjoy some more of that.
Plus, for those who don't know, you also get a Molten Corgi.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so glad this isn't part of the store. A lot of us think this is another store, but it's not.
Yeah, they originally were going to put it to the store, though. That's what they said they were going to do, and they're like, "Oh wait, this is our 10th anniversary. We haven't given them pets in 5 years."
I remember we got the Blizzard Bear. That was cool.
That was 5 years ago.
Yeah, that was Wrath, I think.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
That was when I first made my Death Knight. I remember that now.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think that's going to be pretty cool. They're also creating a new PvP battleground, which is, from the sound of it, it's strictly going to be a team deathmatch.
This is something that has been asked for years.
This better stick around, because they're saying all this stuff is limited time only.
PvP will have a fit if this goes away.
This is Terran Mill versus South Shore. Classic PvP in World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft.
What's the
PvP
class?
It's
are
just unbelievable that they're putting this in. This ought to be huge.
You should, yeah. I was looking at the PvP forums on WoW when this first came out because I knew this was going to be huge, and all that they wanted to say is this better be permanent. This is all they're going to be doing in their PvP time.
Right.
I was like,
Yeah, just murdering the other faction like they've been wanting to do for years without any objectives, just murderation.
oh, people are so mad when it got destroyed in Cataclysm. They're like, oh, we don't have Torn Mill and South Shore anymore. But now, it's a good way to bring it back. I think this should stay.
I hope it does
Always getting
stay. No!
Yes, Veg. Yes. All right. Before Veg blows a gasket, we're gonna put a close on the 6 minutes to release. Oh, I didn't even say we're gonna be doing Garrosh on Monday. All day Monday. We've got the first 13 bosses down, so we will be working on the clear on Monday. So be there if you want to be there. We'll try to take people that haven't been there, but keep in mind that if your DPS is on the level of window lickers, you're probably not going. So make sure.
Damn, I can't go down. Ugh,
Quit licking windows. That's all you gotta do.
it's hard. My League of Legends makes me lick windows now.
Well, that's your own problem.
Are you back to Gold 5 again?
I'm back to Gold 5.
Oh, come on.
God.
Oh,
My OP did not last OP long enough.
no. All right, so let's get to Shosan's favorite part of the week. This is What the Fuck Are You Watching?
What the fuck?
Yeah, watching.
Nice. Watching?
Watching.
Yes, watching.
Yes,
Isn't there a song that has this? Older song?
No. This is
Not
What
that
the
I'm
Fuck
aware
Are
of.
You Watching? And,
There's a s-
and this week we're asking, what is your favorite cartoon movie? Now, of course, this can go all the way to like the traditional kids cartoons, or all the way up to anime. And I took.
I'm real quick. I'm gonna have to actually drop out. We got a situation going on with the baby, so I gotta run.
So here.
Take it easy.
All right. So this week I took probably one of the most classic animes ever made. This is back in 1988. The movie is called Akira.
Oh yes.
Yes. And Akira is a movie set in futuristic Tokyo where they got bombed again, and basically there's some kind of what's the best way to put it? There's something going on with the people there where they're getting mutated and whatnot, and the story follows these two friends where one of them gets hit with a mutation, and it's a very interesting movie. It's really deep, hard to follow sometimes, but definitely worth your time if you ever want to watch something that's anime but not Cole's level Japanese.
What do you mean Cole's level? I watch more than he does.
You watch more hentai?
No, I don't watch.
That's what I meant by Cole's level.
Oh.
With his website and all.
That's not. God damn
it. Think about it. It's a cartoon version of.
Well, we haven't poked fun at Cole's in a while, so I forgot about that.
Well, that's because Cole's hasn't been here to poke fun at.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, Akira, definitely something I recommend checking out. All right, so Veg-sama.
Yes, Veg-sama.
Some
of it. Mine is going to be Gundam Wing: The Endless Waltz.
Mm-hmm.
It is the very ending of the Gundam Wing series. It's pretty awesome. They take the concept styles from the manga of the Gundam suits. They look just freaking badass. And basically what happens is, that.
Peter's in the movie?
Yes, he's in the movie. What happens is, after the main bad guy from the end of the series dies of the Gundam Wing, apparently he had a daughter who tries to take over. And then basically what happens is they were about to destroy the suits because they thought the wars were done. They no longer needed them. So they had to go stop that. And then it's pretty slow at the beginning, but it does pick up pace. It's kind of like any Gundam Wings or any Gundam series, to be honest.
Pretty cool. Yeah, there's some fail going on Cole's screen right now.
What is this?
That's fail is what that is. It's kind of funny how we've used this for so many weeks and he's just now discovering them.
Yeah, I know, right?
Anyway, Coles, when you're not trying to figure out what a monocle is, what is your what the fuck for the week?
No, What the Fuck is actually an anime movie that, if you've never watched the anime before, it's a really good intro to anime. It's from Miyazaki, who's a huge, well-known anime writer for movies, and it's called Princess Mononoke.
Oh yeah, that studio actually got shut down, by the way.
He was done. This is his last one. I think he wanted to quit, so he was.
Yeah, he shut down the studios. Who also made Yobi?
Yep.
And a couple other ones.
Yobi was South Korean.
Was it?
Yobi was from South
I thought it was made from the same.
Mm-mm.
Oh no! I'm thinking of what's the giant furry or gray bunny thing?
I'm not sure.
Started with a T, like Tinoco or something like that.
I know Spirited Away was by him.
Yeah.
There's a few. He did really. All of his movies are really, really good. But this show kind of follows a guy who, and it really follows kind of the Japanese heritage and their stories and their folklore. So it's about this boy who finds this demon in the forest, and he doesn't know why there's a demon here, but he gets touched by the demon and gets, infected, and so his goal in life is to rest of his life he doesn't expect to live is to find out what's causing this, and he meets a lot of interesting characters, and it talks about Japanese real look on nature and on spirits and Shintoism as a religion, and it's really really interesting. It's really heartfelt. Makes you care about the characters, and it's a really good anime if you're looking to just get into anime, or if you're looking for a classic anime movie. This is another really good one to look at.
Yeah. To be honest, if you've ever read Japanese folklore and their demons and stuff, they are scary. Not just, well, demons are supposed to be scary, but they make their spirits, none of them are friendly, supposedly. It's just, well, yeah, I know.
Hi, Ellie.
Ron says hi. But no, spirits, no.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah. Everything that ever goes wrong in Japan is demons.
Yeah.
It's always
demons. Demons are evil spirits. Or curses.
And I'm going to go ahead and end this segment with what was going to be Brox's movie. And his was not an anime. His was Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Beavis.
Oh, here we go.
For my bunghole. Bunghole.
Jesus Christ.
You do that way too well, Veg. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
I need dippy.
Thank you, Brox. We appreciate it. All right. So let's move on, and we're going to wrap things up here. We're moving right along, going right into closing statements. Veg, leave us with something profound.
Ron's face.
It's profound?
Said profound.
It's
Oh.
groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking.
I wish I may. I wish I was. I wish I was a fish. I don't know.
Speaking of fish, Fish plays Pokemon. Fish plays Pokemon.
Well,
What?
yeah, I'm not insulted by it, like Ron is.
Ron, have you ever heard of Fish plays Pokemon?
No.
Okay, there's a fish that's playing Pokemon, and depending
Oh,
on where
yes,
you move...
yes, I have. I linked that to you earlier today. That's right.
Wait,
The
there's a
fish
fish playing Pokemon?
There is a fish playing Pokemon.
the fish
There's a fish playing Pokemon. Yes, that is correct.
and then the fish died and went belly up.
Are you serious?
Yes, he died on stream. It went belly up. So they got a new fish.
I got a new fish. This
They did.
is actually a thing. Fish plays Pokemon. It's on Twitch.
Yes.
And they
So
have
what? They can't get their window lickers to play because they actually somehow beat it, and now they're getting a fish to do it.
Making it places here. I'm telling you what, we're going places with this fish. There's 17,000 viewers.
Pokemon.
Did they catch anything yet?
God.
I'm sure they have. They caught 3 Pokemon when I was watching.
Got a nice orange fish there, just swimming around.
They thought they did.
And there's what's this box that says randomize?
Oh, let me find it here.
Poor
Oh
thing.
my
Go anywhere.
god.
He's just stuck on the left side. You want? He's gonna
Maybe
lose.
he's not- Good thing this isn't a speed run.
Yeah.
No, this is definitely not a speed run. All right. So thank you for
6,000
that.
people.
Coles, other than Fish Plays Pokemon, what do you want to leave us with?
Pokemon. That's Pokemon.
Other.
Okay.
Zelda.
So,
Drop the mic.
I was working today, and my person that comes in regularly comes in, and he's like, why do you come in so much? He's like, I want to hit all these machines. And I'm like, you want to be the very best there ever was? He's like, yes. And then to my surprise, he turned around and said, to cash them out is my cause. I was like, oh my god.
What did he say?
To cash them out is my cause. Because he used to say, catch them all is my cause in the Pokemon theme song. Cash them out all is my cause. I was like, wow.
Oh.
This customer knows Pokemon.
Drop the mic.
I gave him a high five.
We can't get away from Pokemon, folks. This is sad. Sad
Pokemon.
Ron, they've been
Ron.
around longer
Dark
than
day
the
for the Six Gaming Podcast.
Ron's never played Pokemon.
So
Yeah,
the one thing,
he's kind of like Squidward with Krabby Patties. He's never ate one, never played with it, nothing.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he does, he'll love
Yeah,
it.
we're not gonna see Ron for like 2 months on WoW, and
whatever.
then we're like, where'd Ron go? He's like, I gotta play Pokemon. I
got
just
all
finished
the
We're in a
Red.
fantasy
I
world
gotta
that
play
does
Gold
not
and Yellow,
exist. Don't you guys worry, this is not happening. So, all right.
May
So
happen.
for my closing statement, I want to leave you with something that I've been dying to say on the stream forever. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter.
We're not a YouTube video, so shut up.
We
Like
are.
us on-
We are now, man. We've been on YouTube for 4 weeks.
Like I pay attention.
We've been
YouTube.
on iTunes for like 2 months. We've been on Twitch since who knows how long.
For about 8 months now.
Yeah.
No, longer than that. It's almost been a year.
Like and follow us on Twitch and YouTube and iTunes and
Yeah, we're
Facebook,
all over
Twitter.
the internet. How can you miss us?
Tumblr. We're even on Tumblr.
Well, yeah, how can they miss me?
Edge, we're huge.
All we need to do now is make a subreddit and we'll be good.
All right, so that'll be next week's episode. We'll talk about Reddit then. How about that?
No.
Sounds good. It's a
Reddit
plan.
All
is
right.
the scariest 4chan.
So we're gonna wrap this up here for the Six Gaming Podcast. I'm not Chosun.
I'm Veg.
And I don't have a beard anymore.
Woohoo! Until next week, see you bye.